your first major acting gig. You came from the modeling world. Did you bring that experience to this picture?
I'm sure I did in ways that I possibly can't quite, pin down or define or comprehend. I think that working in the adult industry from the age of 14 and a high-profile, entertainment-driven industry helps. I think that being used to cameras, being used to 50 people watching you helps. I think there's an element of role-playing and modeling that, helps. But at the same time, I find them to be quite distinct demands that are made on me when it's modeling or it's acting. And I find that the acting I found a lot harder, just because you do have to have a voice, you have to have opinions, you have to find a character, you have to find relationships, you have to help, create a story, really. And that's what I really love about it, that it was difficult and that I did find it harder.
And you're still very young, so you can still have a long modeling career ahead of you. But is that something you want to keep pursuing, or do you want to transition into acting full time?
I'm always quite open to life and opportunities, and I try not to kind of dictate too much what's going to happen in the next few years because I really don't know. If I get presented with more opportunities like this to work with brilliant filmmakers, that's where I'll commit my time, just because I really enjoyed that, and I hope that's kind of what I can do. But I'm studying right now. I'm in university, and
what are you studying?
History of art.
Okay, why did you decide that rather than?
Well, I was already committed to go, and we started filming this, and I postponed it by a year, and then I started last year, and I'm nearly halfway through. I love the arts, and I love meeting artists like Terry, and I love studying great other artists of the past, and also getting to use my brain. So I think it's quite a good exercise to do for another year. And then thereafter, who knows? Modeling's definitely kind of gone on the back burner, though, the last few years, just because I have dedicated my time to this film and other films and to studying.
So what are you working on next? You said you're dedicating your time to other films.
I did a film with Sally Potter that came out last month online. I did a small part in the Roland Joffe film this summer. I'm supposed to do a film with Mary Harron at the beginning of next year.
Were you nervous at all filming this, since this is your first big picture and Terry's been around for a long time?
Yeah. I was nervous for sure before we started. I kind of realised how talented and how experienced all these other actors were, and how experienced, obviously, and talented Terry was, and suddenly I felt very new and that I was swimming in a really, really, really deep pond. But I don't know, I got kind of more comfortable the more I went with it, and the more familiar I became with the character and what I was doing, and I feel very, very lucky to have been given that experience.
No, you did a fantastic job, but did you learn anything from any of the other actors?
I think so. I hope so. I mean, if I didn't learn in that circumstance, when will I ever learn, But I don't think I could never write down lessons, no one ever gave me specific lessons, and I didn't copy specific things. But rather, I think when you're forced to work with these people, or with really talented people, and just watch their dynamic and how they work, I think that's a real learning process,
Terry, most of the other actors have really big resumes, and Lily comes from the modeling world. She lacks that experience. Did you think she would be a wild card? Why were you interested in casting her?
I wanted somebody extraordinary to be Parnassus' daughter, and that's Lily. She looks extraordinary, and I met her. She's really intelligent. She's very grounded, sensible. We did a little screen test. She was good. She wasn't great. She was good. And I said, let's gamble.
Was she your first choice?
Yep. I think she was the first person cast for the movie, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I do things backwards. And
it's worked for you so far.
And it was just an interesting thing to see if she could pull it off, and she did. I mean, I think she was helped by everybody. Everybody was Heath in particular was very generous towards her, and I don't know. You surround people with great actors, and they either sink or they float, and she floated beautifully.
Now, speaking of casting, obviously you had to recast Heath Ledger's part in the middle of the movie. How did you decide on these actors?
I just started calling friends of Heath, basically, because it had to be close. And these were the guys that were available.
Well, was it important for you to, at any point did you think that should they look like Heath or should they not?
No, I just wanted the best actors I could get, people who really could do the part, and we did our best with makeup and costume to tie them together as much as possible. But that was it. And Johnny was the first person I had talked to, and if he was able to come on board, that would really guaranteed the film would get finished. And Jude, I had talked to already before Heath was involved in the movie about playing the part of Tony.
Oh,
so
really?
it wasn't like just coming out of the blue. And then Colin was, he turned up at the memorial for Heath, and I didn't know he was a close friend, but he was, and so I've always wanted to work with Colin. So tinkle, tinkle on the phone, and he was able to do it.
Now, if you were to enter the Imaginarium, what do you think we would see?
I don't know. You've probably seen it on film, is what you've probably seen, and probably the other bits I want to keep private. I don't want to share those.
So what can we expect to see from you next?
Well, we're resuscitating Don Quixote again, the man who killed Don Quixote, and I'm busy. I found the Don Quixote, and I'm now
Can you
giving
tell
the rest
us
of
who
the
it is?
Nope.
No?
Not until everything is solid. I've got to get the rest of the cast, and hopefully we'll be shooting it this coming spring. We shall see. This is part of my imagination. Whether it's
Okay.
real or not, I don't know yet.
That's good to know. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You're immortal in this film. Would you choose to be immortal in real life?
That's a good question. Everybody wants to stay young, but I think, in your life as you grow older, I think it's kind of a special thing. But, being immortal, it'd be definitely, you probably get bored after a while because you see the same thing over and over again. I don't know.
So if you could live for a certain amount of time, how long would you want to live for?
For 100 years. I mean, just, things happen. You never know.
Now, we love seeing you work with Mike Myers. Do you have any plans to work with him again?
If he started doing Austin again or any film, I would love to work with him again. So, he's such a great talent, and we always have fun.
Are you in contact with him?
Not generally. I hear from him every now and then, like when projects like this, and, he congratulates me and stuff.
You're a fantastic comedic actor, but do you have any desire to do drama pieces at all?
Yeah, for this, it was a step out of the comedy and being a little bit more dramatic.
But you were still comedic. Your character
Yeah, it was still comedic in a sarcastic way. But, it is a different step for me. And I just want people to enjoy it and appreciate it. And, I wanted to show people, I can do other things. And I was just honored that Terry had me in mind.
So what are you working on next?
Right now, I have a new website coming out called
What's the URL?
VernTroyer.com.
Okay.
And it's linked to a social networking site called Looking Up. And it's kind of like Facebook, so you go and create your page and become friends. And, I get to chat with, people. And then also, I'm in the beginning stages of writing my book. It's going to be about me growing up and my experiences in life and, experiences all the way up to where I'm at now.
Okay.
So kind of want it to be a little inspirational for people to read.
When can we expect to see that come out?
Like I said, I'm in the beginning stages,
Right.
so hopefully soon.